They've released a big patch for Crimson Desert, patch 1.00.03, and it's available on all the platforms. And the major change that they've done, which a lot of people will be very happy about, is they finally added item storage. So you can access the item storage chest in your own camp, or in the beginning of the game as well, you can find them. So that will ease up the burden of the constant inventory is full issues. They've also boosted the health restored by food and items and the buffs that they give as well. So there's been a lot of feedback since the release of Crimson Desert, and I'm happy to see that the developers are taking very swift action on it, and I'm sure this will be the first of many updates. So they fixed crashes as well. So it says fixed an issue in chapter 2 quest reunion where the cab would sometimes stop leading the way. Improved chapter 4 quest mysterious pot by making a symbol stop briefly when it reaches the correct position while repairing the ancient generator. Fixed an issue in Ternelli's request where the quest would not complete. Rebecca's shield had already been refined and was refined again. Improved the notification to appear when crime status prohibit the quest from progressing. So with the content, they've added more abyss nexuses around the world so you can fast travel, but they've also removed some of them that were already there. They've reduced the time required to acquire knowledge. Now when you're reading and scanning things, it should complete a lot faster. Change the skill observation to be once before. So before, when you were fighting bosses, for example, you want to learn their skills, you would have to observe the skill being used up to 3 times in order to learn it. Now you just have to observe it once. So adjusted when Force Palm is learned to allow players to use it much earlier in the game. Reduce the number of hits required to log trees. So they've made it a bit simpler to do logging. So decrease the QT difficulty of arm wrestling minigame. I personally had difficulty with the arm wrestling game, so when I was on stream I had to do it several times in order to get through it. Some other people said they found it really easy, but I was not one of those people. So improve the visibility of items that can provide knowledge and tooltips that show the total number of knowledge acquired. Changed all veins and collectibles to be discovered automatically when you're within a certain proximity. Improved skybridge alignment devices in the abyss to trigger immediately when placed in the correct activation point. Improved the visibility of skybridge alignment devices within the abyss to make them easier to locate. Improved the visibility of the circuit board attached to Axiom Force to show its lines while being moved. Improved camera movement when aiming a bow at a brazier and adjusted the range for lighting arrows accordingly. Added an indestructible brazier in front of the Lioncrest watchtower. Improved the trading post UI to display Dunain, Unga and Cliff's horses inventory. Added effects for destroying facilities at enemy strongholds. The effects of the facility destruction are as follows. This means that if you destroy an enemy base, then the entire enemy will have a debuff. So if you destroy an infirmary, the wounded enemies no longer return to the fight. Storage facilities, enemy health is reduced by 10%. If you destroy barracks, then the enemy attack is reduced by 5. So it's a nice little incentive for actually going out and taking over the bases and clearing them out. So improve visuals of certain puzzles for clarity, increase the health restored by ingredients and food items, and added new food to the Hernand Tavern. Increase the lantern's range for detecting clues, reduces stamina consumption for Nature's Grasp, fix an issue where pets would fail to loot items under certain conditions. Change certain items in the Witch's shop to reset daily. Lower the difficulty on marksmanship and archery contest minigames. Opponents were able to shoot at targets before they even appeared. So by all means that they fixed this. So fix an issue where the Abyss Cell's electric field will not appear. Improve the visibility of the part that needs to be grabbed with Axiom Force on the Skybridge alignment device. Fix an issue where stamina was not consumed after a certain quest cutscene. So not various updates to the controls of the game and changes to the UI. They've also added very typical keyboard and mouse shortcuts, which I was surprised were not in the game to begin with, such as inventory, skill, journal and map. They've also nerfed some of the boss fights because some of them were simply too hard. So they've made the fight hopefully more realistic and not so unbearable. They fixed some issues with the NPCs. They did some other fixes for UI. They fixed performance and stability issues across the board. They fixed some localization issues and they fixed other issues as well. It's nice that they've already addressed some of the concerns from players already.